For this video, we're going to look at two shapes designed by Dennis Newberry for the Homer Laughlin China Company. Now, Dennis Newberry was art director at HLC from 1973 to 1983, after which Jonathan O'Perry takes over as art director. So there were 6 major shapes that Dennis Newberry created during his time at the pottery. We're going to look at Challenger and Unibody. But before we do that, I want to look at 2 articles that I printed out from newspapers.com. Both of them come from the Evening Review in East Liverpool, Ohio. And I really didn't know a whole lot about Dennis Newberry until getting ready for this particular video. So I was looking for these articles, see what I could learn about him. This one's in May 16th, 1973. So this is shortly after he becomes art director, and it says Dennis Newberry, art director at the Homer Laughlin China Company, will discuss ceramic design. So he's giving a little talk on ceramic design in 1973. This one is a little more lengthy, and it gives a little more detail about his life. And this is from November 19th, 1977, again from the East Liverpool Review. And he's being inducted into one of the Masonic lodges. And so there's this write-up, a full write-up on him, but I only printed out the section that was relevant for this video. And it says, originally from Connecticut, Newberry lived most of his school years in New York, graduating from Niskayuna, I hope I'm saying that right, Niskayuna High School at Schenectady in 1960. He attended the New York State School of Ceramics at Alfred University. He was employed as a staff designer at the Taylor Smith & Taylor Pottery from 1964 to 1966. He joined the Army in 1966 and attended Officer Candidate School at Fort Benning in Georgia. He served 1 year as Rifle Company Commander in Vietnam. Newberry holds a Bronze Star, the Silver Star, and Vietnamese Cross of Gallantry. He was discharged in December 1969 as captain in the infantry. He worked as a staff member of the Research and Development for Adirondack, Indiana Division of ATO Incorporated from 1970 to 1972. He is currently employed as the new product manager at the Homer Laughlin China Company in Newell. Now, he may have been the new product manager, but he was also the art director during this time. He married the former Loretta Kirshner, a graduate of East Liverpool City Hospital School of Nursing. They have 2 children, Dennis 5 and Heather 7. Again, this is from November 19th, 1977. So let's look at the 2 shapes for today, Challenger and Unibody. The first one, Challenger, and I think this name fits because this is a challenging line to collect. This comes from 1973 and was produced till the late 70s, about 78 or 79. And this is a really unusual shape. It has this rather thick foot at the bottom and a raised edge. And I don't think you can see it in the video, but the center of the plate has this dome effect to it, which I really have not seen in other pottery. Usually you'd want your center to be flat or even coupe shape, but this one is slightly domed. This pattern is called Holiday, pattern number CH113. It's probably the most common of the Challenger patterns. Also the most unremarkable. It has a sandstone glaze with this yellow band. We see the sugar bowl and the creamer with the cylindrical form, and there's the teacup with its saucer. This is treatment number CH108. It's just an underglazed print with the yellow band, and it has corresponding hollowware in yellow engobe. One thing about the hollowware that's different for the Newberry shapes is they're usually marked. Let me see if I can find a good one. This one's made in USA. So you'll see these USA markings on most of his hollowware. We'll see it on International. We're going to see it on Unibody in a second. There were 2 treatments on Challenger that were made for Graham Kerr. And you'll find a special marking, Galloping Gourmet Graham Kerr. This is one of them. And this Challenger plate, I don't know if you'll see it in the video, it has an unusual, it's called glaze on glaze decoration. So it has this rather, it's sort of a raised enamel feel, almost like applique. And finally, we'll look at this piece. This is a pattern that was used on other shapes in different forms. It's like glade on the hearthside shape. But when I bought this piece on eBay, it had a sticker on the back that said Shenango sample. And I could tell I knew it was the Challenger shape, and I could tell there was a sticker underneath of it, so I photographed it and documented it, and then removed the sticker to reveal the Homer Laughlin round sticker on the bottom that says 3032, which is not very helpful, but in pencil it has the date 8/14/1974. So I don't know much about this plate other than what I just told you, but for some reason this was made as a sample piece for Shenango, China. This is a rather difficult line to find. He had a lot of trouble with this shape. If you look at the modeling log and the production notes, there's one revision after another. I assume some of it has to do with this doming effect that's on the flatware. Let's see if the dinner plate is marked in the back, because I would imagine some pieces have yes, it has the regular Homer Laughlin date code, and this one says 1975. Now the next shape we're going to look at is Unibody. Unibody, there's only 4 pieces in the assortment: the sugar, the creamer, the teacup, and the saucer. Everything else is picked up from other lines, and that's why it's called Unibody, so it could be used universally with other shapes. The center one has a Cavalier. We have a CV treatment number, CV179, Old Dominion. All the other shapes are Hearthside. So we have a Hearthside plate here that's HU257, Sahara, and then we have Camel beside it, which is HU256. So these would use Unibody hollowware. And we have the Unibody sugar and the Unibody creamer. And you're probably not going to be able to see it in the video, but these are also marked USA on the bottom. I don't think I'm going to get it to show up. Sometimes the straight can be weak in the mold, and sometimes the glaze can be rather thick and it'd be hard to see, but most of his hollowware is going to have USA markings. And then we have this wheat pattern in the back. That's also a Unibody treatment. So even though this is a Hearthside shape, you would find sugar and creamer like that being used with it. One thing I passed over was this box. This is the holiday treatment, CH113. Open it up, and we see some more of the, what I think is a rather unremarkable pattern on Challenger, but it is the most common. If you can call it any pattern on Challenger common, because it really is hard to find. So that's Challenger and Unibody, and yeah, really quick video today. Next time we're going to look at International and reissue Harlequin, and then we'll be wrapping up this series of these introduction of these shapes, and we can move on to bigger and better things. So that's it.